Hello, welcome to big mistake number 3. Now, on this particular video, I've got no gimmicks, no jokes, sorry to say, because this one's the biggie, and this is one that there's no point beating about the bush. I need to be direct with you here. If you're making this mistake, then you really do need to do something about it. Big mistake number 3 has 2 parts to it. Part A is not following up. Part B is giving up on your follow-up. So let me just explain what I mean by those. Not following up, part A, is just simply as it says, not following up. So do you go to networking events and then don't follow up with people afterwards? Do you get an inkling that somebody might have been engaged by what you're talking about and then you don't pursue it to find out more and to ask them about themselves and arrange a meeting or talk with them over the phone to really get to the nuts and bolts of it? Do you meet up with someone, a potential customer, and have a great meeting with them, really identify some potential areas, send a follow-up email to outline what your offer is, and then never contact them again? Now, some of you might be listening to this and thinking, why would you do such a thing? But believe me, many people do these things. And that's only part A. Part B of not following up is around giving up on the follow-up. So maybe you have responded after a networking event, or you have tried one time after sending a proposal and following up on your email. Maybe you do go to networking events and then send an email to introduce yourself afterwards, and even one call. But is that really enough? No, it's not. You must have heard the statistic that says that it takes on average 6 to 7 times of asking somebody if they want to buy something before they say yes. So in both of the scenarios, part A and part B that I'm talking about, we're talking about 0 follow-up to maybe 1 to 2 times at the most. Now, let me use an analogy that has been used before in this area, and sometimes if it's not broke, don't fix it. This is a great way of considering it. If you think, why do they use the word engaging a customer, just as you do engaging a partner? So you have an engagement with somebody. What does it take to engage somebody? Well, more often than not, it takes time. It takes a building of a relationship. Now, I'm not saying it takes 6 or 7 times dating somebody before you can ask them if they want to marry you. However, it certainly doesn't happen overnight most of the time. Now, just as with relationships, you may go to a networking event and have somebody jump out and say, hey, yes, me, I'm looking for what you've got right now. But how often does that happen, really? And are you going to rely on that for your business? And this links very much to big mistake number 2. If you're going to sit back and wait for customers to come to you, then you could be waiting a really long time. Now, let me just talk about this 6 or 7 times of interacting with somebody and asking them if they might want to buy. Now, obviously, it might not be as simple as, would you like to buy? Would you like to buy? Would you like to buy? Of course not. It's thinking of different and innovative and new ways of connecting with someone, reasons for speaking with them to build the relationship. Now, numbers 6 and 7 have come up for me in another area as well in my career. So I've spent years in the learning and development industry, and I've heard it said that it takes 6 or 7 times of repetition or practicing a new habit or skill or new way of thinking before it really embeds into your subconscious. So now if you think about the fact that you're looking to engage a new customer, no wonder it takes 6 or 7 times before they finally say yes on average. Because if you think about it and connect the 2 examples of 6 or 7 times that I've given to you, every time you interact with that potential new customer, you're probably getting to another level of sort of embedding in their thinking. And so once you get to about 6 or 7 times, they really do know who you are, they trust you, like you, understand what you offer, and I'm going to be much more open to considering what you might be able to offer them. So the moral of this story is make sure you follow up and don't give up. Really persist. If you want to generate new customers, then you need to persist, persist, persist. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that don't think that just because somebody isn't jumping out at you on a networking event saying, hello, I'm looking for what you're offering right now, it doesn't mean to say that there aren't other potential customers in the room. You need to know what your qualifying questions are so you can understand who fits in the parameters of your potential client, so you know who to focus your follow-up with. And for all of the reasons that I've said already, by building a relationship with them and talking with them over time about what you do, you're going through an education process. And often a lot of us would have an important element of our sales process is an education phase where people learn about what you've got to offer and really get to grips with it. And so, again, follow up. Make sure you're following up on the right people and persist, persist, persist. And you will find that you generate more business than you are now. So if you find it difficult to follow up, there's a reason why you're finding it difficult to follow up. Remember that all of these big mistakes are linked to procrastination. Procrastination appears when you go to do something that you don't want to do, don't enjoy doing, or simply don't think you can do. If this is the case for you and you aren't following up effectively and you want to learn how to follow up more effectively, then sign up for my free webinar. Make sure you do it right now. Thanks very much for your time.